Okay, welcome back, boys and girls, to our final segment of today's lesson, Part C. We're going to deal with now putting this all together, talking about our vocabulary, and then after that, we're going to analyze two students' work to wrap up our lesson. So in Part C, the vocabulary that I want you to take from this, boys and girls, really all the things that we have discussed are as follows. Triangles can be classified by the line segments that make their sides. Okay? Triangles can be classified by the line segments that make their sides. So what do we mean by that? What we've been doing all day is one part that we talked about is an equilateral triangle. Okay? What word do you hear or see in the word equilateral? That's right, equal. And what does equal mean? They're all the same. So an equilateral triangle has three sides that's always the same length. 4 plus 4, 4, 4, 9, 9, 9, 8, 8, 8. All the sides all the three sides in the triangle are the same. That's what makes an equilateral triangle. Look at this word here. Everyone say isosceles. Very good, isosceles. So what is an isosceles triangle? When you categorize, or when we were sorting these triangles, when you sorted the triangle that has two sides the same length, that's what was an isosceles triangle. For example, you have three sides, two sides of 5, and the other side is 4. That's an isosceles triangle. Two sides of 7, one side is 8. That's an isosceles triangle. Two sides 12, excuse me, and the other side is 17. That makes an isosceles triangle also. And then finally, some of you have put in the category and said, Ms. Stuckey, I saw a triangle that didn't have any equal sides. And that's correct. Say the word, everyone say scalene. So a scalene triangle, boys and girls, has no sides the same length. For example, a triangle that has sides 4 inches, 5 inches, and 8 inches. Okay, none of those are the same. That's a scalene triangle. If you have a triangle with the length 10 inches, 12 inches, and 14 inches, none of those are the same. That's what would be called a scalene triangle. So I will pause it for a second here. You all would put this down in your notebooks in your distance learning environment for a later date to finish the lesson. That is, equilateral triangle has three sides the same length. Isosceles triangle has two sides the same length, and a scalene triangle has no sides the same length. So that's talking about the sides. Now we're going to talk about three triangles like we did earlier when you categorize them so far as what type of angle or angles that they have. So triangles can be classified by their angles. Okay, so triangles can be classified by their angle measure. So what does that mean? Okay, so glad you asked. So if we have this triangle here. And if you have a triangle, any type of triangle, and you would see that symbol, boys and girls, what do you think that means? Right, automatically, we know that that is a right triangle. So any right triangle, and normally you will see that symbol there. A right triangle has one right angle. Okay. So make sure you get it. A right triangle always has one right angle. Okay. Okay. Now notice that triangle looks a lot different than the right triangle. And what you notice, boys and girls, that the three angles, the angle here, the angle there, and the angle there, what do you notice about them? Very good. None of those angles are greater than 90 degrees. So they all are less than 90 degrees. And from our review, any angle that's less than 90 degrees is called an acute triangle. So an acute triangle has three acute angles. All of these angles, each one of those, all are less than 90 degrees, right? All of them are less than 90 degrees. That's what makes this an acute triangle. Each one of those three angles, all are less than 90 degrees. That's what makes them an acute triangle. Okay. So I'm going to move forward because you can always stop this, boys and girls, and go back at your leisure. And then finally, notice how I started this triangle off first. Okay. Okay. Now, notice this triangle. Okay. What do you see? Okay, someone said, I see some acute angles. You do. But what about this angle here? That angle is greater than 9 degrees. How do we know? If we took a look at our benchmark angle of 9 degrees, right? See, that's our 90-degree angle, but that angle goes So that's your 9-degree angle. So if you're starting from 0, that's 90. It goes past 90. So we know, so that's another type of unique type of triangle. And this triangle is called an obtuse triangle. And the reason why we call this an obtuse triangle has one obtuse angle. That's what makes this unique. That's what makes this an obtuse angle. It has one angle that is an obtuse angle. And we know that an obtuse angle is greater than 90 degrees. How do we know that? Because the Pac-Man or Pac-Woman eats the larger number or angle. So the obtuse is larger than, an obtuse angle is larger than 90, and we said that is at least 91 degrees all the way to 179 degrees. That one obtuse angle can be. Okay? And when it's all said and done, make sure you all get that. Every triangle, no matter the size or shape, when you add up all three sides, every triangle has to equal up to 180 degrees. No matter what the triangles are, they have to equal up to 180 degrees. Whether it is an acute triangle, that triangle still has to equal up to 180 degrees. Whether it's a right triangle, those three angles have to equal up to 180 degrees. Or whether it is an obtuse triangle. Those three triangles, when you add them all up, they all have to equal up to 180 degrees. The only difference is here, we know that one of the angles in a right triangle has to be 90. We know that one of the angles in the obtuse triangle has to be more than 90 degrees and less than 180. Okay, so we had two students here. We're going to analyze this work, boys and girls. Now that we know how to categorize or sort triangles by their size and or by their angles, here are two students. Jaden's work. With Jaden's work and Michael's work. So earlier you had a chance to take a look at these, and what do you think Michael came up with, and what do you think Jaden came up with so far as how they analyzed or sorted their particular triangles? So you will pause, we're gonna pause here, and then you will put these answers also in your private messaging box, okay? So I'm gonna move forward as if you paused this part of the lesson. So this is what Michael had to say. He has blue triangles here. Michael says the blue triangles have 3 equal sides. Okay. This is an equilateral triangle here. This was 1.5 inches. This was 1.5 inches. And this side was 1.5 inches. Okay. This side was 4 inches. This side was 4 inches. This side was 4 inches. Okay. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 green triangles. This side was 3.5. This side was 3.5. This side was 1.5. This side was 1.5. This triangle was 3.5. This triangle 3.5. Here's a triangle that had a 3 inch and a 3 inch. Okay, so, and what Michael said, the green triangles have 2 equal lengths. Okay. And we know that those to be an isosceles triangle. The blue triangles have 3 equal sides. We know the blue triangles then are equilateral triangles because they all have 3 equal sides. And then this one red triangle here, it has a side of 3, 2, and 4. Okay, and what Michael said, the red triangle has no equal sides. And what do we call that triangle that has no equal sides? Scalene. Okay? All right. So let's look at Jaden. Jaden has blue triangles here, 1, 2, and 3. And one of those triangles has that symbol. Oh, this triangle has the symbol. Oh, all 3 of them have that symbol there. So we know then the blue triangles look like they have right angles. And we also know that by the symbol. We already knew that. Now, I see two green triangles. Different sizes, yeah, but look at their shapes. And Jaden said the green triangles have 3 acute angles. The green triangles have 3 acute angles. And then finally, the one red triangle, looks a little larger there than that right triangle. And what Jada said, the red triangle has one obtuse angle. So let's recap and analyze Jaden's work. So the blue triangles, 1, 2, 3, and 4, has a right angle. It has one right angle. So by definition, those blue triangles are right triangles. The 2 green triangles, Jaden said, has 3 acute angles. That means all of those angles in those triangles are less than 90. So by definition, those green triangles represent acute triangles. And then finally, this one red triangle, yes, Jaden, he's correct. He has one angle that's greater than a right angle. So that means it is an obtuse angle. So by definition, if it has one obtuse angle, it is considered an obtuse triangle. So there you have it, boys and girls. In closing, you know that we determine or classify triangles 2 ways: by their lines, no lines alike, scaling, 2 lines alike, isosceles, 3 lines alike, equilateral. We also classify them by their angles. If a triangle has one obtuse angle, it is called an obtuse triangle. If a triangle has all 3 acute angles, that means they're all less than 90 degrees, that triangle is called an acute triangle. And finally, in closing, if a triangle has that symbol that represents a right angle, boys and girls, it is called a right triangle. Boys and girls, I hope these lessons during this distance learning were helpful to you all. It's been a pleasure teaching you all this year, and I hope everyone have a safe and blessed summer.